Hollywood actor who also directs and writes and produces. Please welcome to the show, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations are in order.
Oh, thank you,
You
yes.
have a baby boy.
I know, you're right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
If you like to keep your private life private, and I agree with you 100%, but I will tell you publicly that it is the greatest thing you have ever done.
Yeah,
and you'll enjoy the most. And you were a child actor, and why is it so important for you to keep that private?
Sure.
You've been in this business for so long.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just thank you, and I really do appreciate you asking after him, and your well wishes mean a lot to me. They do, but you know, being in the public eye for me is like a great thing. It allows me to do what I love to do, which is act in movies and stuff. But it's like a choice I made. You know, I decided to have a career in show business, and so I'm in the public eye, and people know my name and know my face, and that has its upsides and honestly some downsides. My son, he's just a baby, you know?
Right.
So he hasn't made the choice to be in the public eye, and that's a choice that I would like him to be able to make when he's older, you know? Yeah. When he can think about these kinds of things and make that decision for himself. And so for now, I just, you know, I'm, guess a protective dad, and I just want to protect his privacy, and you know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You made the choice to go into show business very early. I mean, you were 6 years old when you started, right?
I remember the first conversation that I had with my mom, actually. I remember it really vividly because it's, you know, an important moment in my life. We were in the kitchen, and we were, she was putting away groceries. I remember this. And at that time, I was doing like community theater, and I sang in a choir and stuff. And I grew up in the Valley in LA, and so some of the kids that were in my community theater went on auditions for commercials and TV shows and stuff like that. And so she asked, because one of their managers asked if I wanted to go on auditions and stuff. She said, would you want to do that? Would you want to go on auditions to be in commercials and TV shows and stuff like that? And I was like, yeah, I would like to do that, you know? But she asked if I wanted to.
Right.
And then throughout working as a kid, I always just really loved doing it. But of course, there are days when you don't feel like doing it. And anytime I would be like, oh, I don't want to go to this audition today or whatever, she would always say, you don't have to. You can stop this anytime you want to.
Right. She's the opposite of a stage mother.
Yeah. She's a great stage mother, you know, because she encouraged me and supported me because she knew that it was something I loved to do, but she never pressured me into doing it.
That's great.
And always gave me that decision.
But we actually have a tricky commercial that you did right here.
Oh.
Did you know that actors sometimes practice with tongue twisters before they audition? Do you know any tongue twisters that can totally twist your tongue?
My tongue is twisted looking at that.
Wow. I don't even remember that at all. That's so funny.
All right, so we'll be right back with Joseph Gordon-Levitt to talk about The Walk. We're back with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, star of The Walk, and you play Philippe Petit, who's a French tightrope artist who walked between the Twin Towers. Now, did you actually train with him for this role?
He insisted that he be the one to teach me, And,
no kidding.
And what's funny was, you know, some people are really good at something, but they're not necessarily good at teaching that thing. He was a great teacher. And it's because I think he's such a positive thinker. And this is like I think his central quality is he's an optimist.
Right.
He'll never think about like, oh no, what, to where he lives in upstate New York.
Okay.
He's French, but he actually, after The Walk, he became a New Yorker. He never went back to France. He loves New York so much. And he lives upstate now, and I went up there, and he set up this whole workshop in like a disused warehouse. And he had, you know, a practice wire just a few feet off the ground. Then he had a higher wire 6 feet off the ground. And we just spent 8 days straight together. And he said, by the end of these 8 days, you will walk by yourself. And I was like, that sounds really ambitious. Are you sure?
Right.
but that's what happened.
I love what they like. He trains his whole life to do this thing, and he's like, "You have 8 days.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Let's go. Let's go."
Look, I mean, I wasn't 1,300 feet in the air like he was, so let's, be real about it.
Now, have you taken your family to see the movie?
Yeah, actually, when I first got to see the movie in 3D, I brought my parents, and my dad is scared of heights.
Oh my God.
My dad, like, if you're in a tall-ish building, he doesn't want to stand by the window. You know?
Yeah, I don't
like,
blame him.
And so when we were watching the movie, you know, you could hear my dad go like, oh. And stuff like that. Which is not a sound you usually get to hear your father make, you know. It was a lot of fun,
I gotta
actually.
tell you though, like watching just even the trailer for this movie and seeing those beautiful buildings, the World Trade Center, it just it almost seems like a gift for us, at least here in New York, to see those buildings again. So I thank you so much for bringing them back to us, even just for this moment in this film.
Well, that's one of my favorite parts.
We're going to take a look at a clip, and in this clip, a frustrated Philippe is looking for a way to make his dream come true. So here is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in The Walk.
Yo, how you doing?
Stairs going up. Go back to the hotel. If I'm not back in 5 hours, look for me at the police station.
The movie is The Walk. It opens in IMAX theaters tomorrow and nationwide.